Hello and welcome to another episode of Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. We are your hosts, David and Eli, and we are here to talk about the Angels series. We're going to preview the Guardian series, and there is an update on Seiya Suzuki that we will talk about as well. So, without further ado, we're going to start with the Angels review. Cubs won this series 2-1, 2 out of 3. It was good starting, pitching in at least games 1 and 3. I didn't think it was terrible in game 2. I wouldn't say it was good, though, either. What do you think about the starting pitching from the series, Eli?
I think all three of them looked pretty good. I have to argue with you a little bit about the second game. I think JMO did pretty good from what I expected, though. I didn't. I expected, a lot of runs. So
He didn't get hit around much. I agree.
Mhm.
He allowed 2 hits. To me, the conditions matter sometimes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If this had been like a normal game, 70 degrees, 75-degree weather, I would agree. I would have thought he did really well. But it wasn't. It was cold, damp day, and the wind was just howling in. And he walked 4 batters. One of them was intentional. I get that. But that's still like 3 other batters. Just pitch to contact, man. Like that's his bread and butter in this situation. And that's what frustrated me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The defense didn't do anybody any favors. They didn't have an error in the game per se, but there were some mental lapses. You know what I mean?
Right.
PCA diving, but didn't block that ball. Normally he makes those kinds of
Yeah,
catches,
he just
so you
missed the
can't be
glove
too
placement
mad.
on that. Yeah.
But it just he really wasn't all that close to catching it either.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So if you're
Mhm.
gonna dive, you got to make sure you can block that or catch it. One of the two. You got to make sure you catch it or block it
Kind of
and
like
knock
Ian
it down.
Happ did that game as well. I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Mhm.
Matt Shaw to his credit, he did an amazing job of backing Pete up. You know what I mean on that play.
Right, to get to that ball quicker. I thought Pete was injured because he was laying on the ground for so damn long.
I mean, I'm talking about a different game. My bad on that.
Oh, I'm talking about game 2 against the Angels.
That I don't think that play was in game 2, though. The where Pete dove, maybe it was.
I think it might have been.
The double that put runners on second and third wasn't against Pete. It was against Matt Shaw. When Matt Shaw was running back and he put his glove up, but he wasn't
Hmm.
even close to the ball yet, and it went over his head, and nobody could figure out if he was trying to deke the runners or what happened. Pete was the one who ended up getting the ball on that,
Right.
not Matt. And so Shaw just he looks lost at times out there. And I'm not saying that to say, hey, I think that he needs to come out. I want them to keep giving him run out there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think Matt Shaw looked lost at times at third base at the beginning of the year last year, too. And he worked himself into a gold glove defender quickly. I truly think he can still do this in right field. But I think that people are forgetting about all those swirling winds. Right field on a regular basis at Wrigley Field is one of the toughest right fields to play in the whole game and throughout the league. And we're asking Matt Shaw to play this position that he's never played before in his professional career that I know of. You know what I mean?
Right.
And and he's doing it at one of the toughest spots to do it. Let's see how he does in Cleveland. Let's see how he does in Tampa.
Right.
I'm going to guess it's going to be a little different.
Hmm.
I I can't imagine how hard that is. I know how to read a ball off a bat, but not when there's 25, 30 mile an hour winds literally swirling around going every which direction at times. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that he deserves the benefit of the doubt with some of this. And some of the podcasts I've heard listened to, they've been just beating this guy down with his defense. And I get it. Like, he's not winning any awards right now. I
Mm-hmm.
understand that. But I think that we need to remember that he is learning something on the fly in the major leagues, which is the toughest place to do it, and the toughest environment at Wrigley Field in those situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think about Shaw's defense?
Obviously, it was a little shaky, but like you
Agreed.
said, like third at the beginning of the season. Well, not at the beginning of the season. When he got first called up to play third base, he was also shaky. So
Yeah.
just got to give him time to adjust and improve.
I know that Phil Maton left that, and then he allowed another hit that drove in the runs after that play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was this is my biggest problem with that. It was an 0-2 pitch that allowed the hit to score the 2 runs, and it hung a curveball, man. You know what I mean? Like, throw that in the dirt or something. Or, you know what I mean? Like, don't
But yeah,
just you
especially with
can't
no
leave
balls.
that in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the zone.
Right.
That's the problem. It wasn't executed correctly. You just can't do that
Mm-hmm.
in this situation. So, um, but the overall team, like, they only had 4 hits in the game. They drew 4 walks. When the Angels drew 7 walks and had 5 or 6 hits. So you got to get base runners. It was just a poorly played game by the team. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 games were much better. They're either losing or they're winning handedly. Like, Palencia has thrown 2 games and he still doesn't have a save because he hasn't had an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm not complaining that they're winning the games handedly. It's just there's nothing to get too amped up about yet outside of, hey, I'm always amped when the Cubs win. But you know what I mean. Like, hey, man, that was a
Right.
great game. If they
Uh-huh.
could have come back in game 2, that would have been the kind of game I'm talking about. Like, damn, that was awesome. And that's the kind of thing that the team did early last season that they haven't yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, cut the pitching. Cubs pitching in the series struck out the Angels 34 times in the 3-game set. 9 in the first game, 9 in the second game, and 16 in the third game, with Matthew Boyd having 10 of those in that last game. He had 20 whiffs in game 2, his second start, and he had 20 whiffs in the first start. I know that there was a lot of hard contact when he didn't have those whiffs in that first game, but it was
Mm-hmm.
so much better in the second game.
Right.
40 whiffs in 2 starts. That's pretty impressive. Even with all the hard contact, I think his expected FIP is in like the mid 4s. His ERA is in the mid 6s right now still. But that's how bad he got knocked around in that 4th inning.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall, his stuff is better than what everybody wanted to believe after that first start.
Right.
The results just weren't there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess my overall point is I don't think Boyd looks as bad as we all kind of felt like he did after that first start. You know what I mean? He's not going to be the ace of this team.
No.
The ace of the team may not be pitching yet, to be frank, by the end of the season. But it's going to be the top 3, I truly believe, barring some kind of trade, is going to be Cabrera, Horton, and Justin Steele. Don't you think? Barring a trade and or injuries. God, I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on wood, dogs.
I'd have to agree with that. I'm I'm a little iffy on how Steele's gonna be when he gets back still, but I think
I'm
they'll might do all right
I'm not saying he's going to be an ace right out the
right
gate.
away. Right.
I'm by August, September, I think is the hope that he'll be
Yeah.
that shutdown guy at that point. By the way, have you seen Sandy Alcantara's first 2 starts?
No.
Amazing. He threw a complete game yesterday.
Did
9
he?
innings. Shutout baseball. I'm
You might
telling
be
you,
onto something.
Sandy Alcantara is going to be the Cy Young this year. If he stays healthy. And I love Cabrera. I'm happy with him. I wish we could have gotten Sandy too. Just saying. And I think we could have. But,
Yeah.
all right. I'll get off that. It's something I'm going to keep tabs on. You know that, right?
Yes.
Overall, offensively, I felt like Nico, Bush, Happ, and Amaya have all been amazing.
Agreed.
Ian Happ has been. He hasn't. There's been a bit of a mixed bag with Ian, but results are results, man. And
The
keep
only
living
issue,
them up.
that he kind of has is just not that he didn't strike out much this series, but the first series, I think he kind of got out of that little strikeout phase.
He goes
so
through
far.
spurts with that, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Ballesteros hasn't come out the way I thought he was going to start the season after the spring he had. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still early, and he had a nice 2 RBI hit the other night or yesterday. He'll be all right, I think. It just hasn't been as quickly as I thought it was going to be because of his spring. So, Pete has made some really nice plays, but the power hasn't been there at all for him yet. He's hitting the ball hard, but I think I saw that his hard hit rate was in the 78th percentile. This was via Carson Wolf, I think. 78th percentile for the hard hit rate, but he's hitting the ball on the ground at a 63% clip. That is high. Like that's not what we want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's had a couple of really nice bunt singles, though. He had a very nice bunt on Monday night, I think, against Soriano. Was that Monday or Tuesday?
That was against Soriano, yeah.
Yeah, that
he
was
almost
Tuesday,
got there,
wasn't
but
it?
that
But
shovel.
Soriano made a hell of a play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shovel.
So sometimes you just tip your hat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I like that he's using that.
But he tried it again on an 0-2 count that I did not like at all. But again, it was lefty-lefty. It's not, his strong suit at all. But still, it's 0-2. He fouled it, and he got out. And he was mad about it.
He was mad, and all kinds of people were ripping him about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike it because it was a lefty-lefty. If it was lefty on righty, I wouldn't like it one bit. But because of the lefty-lefty and the struggles that he had last year, I think it's a good thing that he's trying to find ways to combat that.
Base. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a weapon when he gets on base. Mm-hmm. No matter how he gets on base, if he gets on, he's a weapon.
Right.
The other night, Monday night, he had an at-bat with like 11, 12 pitches that resulted in him getting a walk. He battled and drew a walk. That was huge growth for him. That wouldn't have happened last year. He's growing. I just don't think it's as quickly as what people want sometimes. People are crazy. But there's good signs with Pete. Just be patient. There's great signs with Bregman. The results aren't there with the guy, but there are great signs. He is tied, or as of the other day, I think he is tied for the lead in hard hit balls, which are 95 miles per hour exit velocity or higher. 8 of the 12 balls, though, have been outs. That's bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
It'll even out. I'm excited for him. And I just want to touch on Ben Brown before we move on to Seiya real quick.
Oh, gosh.
Everybody
He's real good.
All kinds of pissed off about him after that first outing because he gave up the 2-run homer, blah, 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 blah. But nobody wanted to. I know I already went on a spiel about it a little bit in the last episode, but people didn't want to rip Boyd as much, but they wanted to rip Brown. He was dominant, flat out dominant.
He looked like an all-star
the other night.
on the
3
mound.
1/3 again. For the season, he's got 6 2/3 innings so far, a 2.70 ERA, a 2.46 SIERA, and 32% strikeout rate. That's the second highest on the team to only Matthew Boyd, who has a stupid strikeout rate of 45.9. Good Lord. Brown has an 8% walk rate and a 27.7% whiff rate. Jeez. I can talk, I swear.
Whiff weight.
And people want to... He's a lightning rod bigger than hell, man.
Mhm.
Like, he's one of the biggest lightning rods on the team. I think people either absolutely hate him or love him.
Well, and a lot of people don't know that he added 2 more pitches to his, to all of his pitches that he had. He has 4 now instead of 2.
Right.
So Eli Fushi and I were watching the game, and I was telling him about it because he was really worried that second game when he was coming up to pitch. I'm like, don't even worry about it. He's got this. He's got 2 more pitches, and both of them look excellent.
Yes, agree.
And then he showed out.
Especially that sinker.
Mm-hmm.
The Fushi settled down because he's one of the big haters that I know.
Yeah, yep. Well, I used to be that guy.
I know you did. You and your brother both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does your brother still hate him?
I don't know. Probably. He probably doesn't know about his pitches either.
You're probably right. He would if he watched us.
Yeah.
Seiya Suzuki will start a rehab assignment tomorrow, on Friday, in Knoxville, AA Knoxville. Craig Counsell said it is expected to be 3 to 7 days, depending on how Seiya feels with his knees, or his knee.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great news. I'm going to guess that they're still going to be conservative and not bring him back until after the Tampa series. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah.
Or at least at the tail end of that Tampa series.
Right. I agree. I hope he's a lot better by then.
Me too. I
I'm
would
excited to see
expect
how
him...
he plays for the Smokies, though.
Yes, I will be watching that very carefully.
I don't even know where to watch that.
I won't watch the game per se. But I'll keep up with it.
Keep up with the stats and stuff. Keep up with Connor Wolf. I met Carson Wolf.
Yeah. The dude, he's got amazing stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wolf at the Wrigley Wire, fantastic. Excited to see. I'm guessing he makes his season debut back home against Pittsburgh. That's my guess. And that's in a week from tomorrow, I think. The preview for the Guardians. We travel to Cleveland right now. Tomorrow's matchup is expected to be Cade Horton versus Joey Cantillo, a 4:10 start on a Friday afternoon. It is Cleveland's home opener, and then we will also be involved with Tampa's home opener next Monday. Tampa opens the season with 3 series all on the road. That's crazy.
That stinks.
That sucks for them, yeah. That's crazy. But I like that matchup for us. Cantillo's a lefty, but I'm talking the pitching matchups I like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily, especially without Seiya, it makes me nervous to not have to go against lefties a little bit. But Nico, who's been crushing
in there,
Matt Shaw,
he should be all right.
It neutralizes Pete some, and I think it neutralizes Bush a little bit. But he did really good the other day against Kikuchi. Bush did. On Saturday will be Shota Imanaga versus Slade Ciccone. That's a 7:15 game. Ciccone got roughed up big time in his first start.
Then it's a good matchup.
Hopefully we can match that energy the way that they did before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And on Sunday, Edward Cabrera versus Parker Messick. That's a 1:40 start time. You might say, who? Parker Messick? This dude has made 8 major league starts and his ERA is around 2.5. He made 7 last year, 1 this year. He didn't allow a single run in 6 innings this year. So this, I think, is going to be a very good pitching matchup. This is going to be a
very good matchup.
Yeah. The Guardians have started the season 4-3 so far, all on the road. They were 2-2 against Seattle and 2-1 in LA against the Dodgers. Cleveland is 15th, though, in team ERA with a 3.86 ERA. They are 26th on offense, averaging 3.414 runs per game. So I'm kind of shocked that they're 4-3, to be honest, when you hear those numbers.
Right.
But it's also surprising the Cubs are only 3-3 when you hear these numbers I'm about to say. The Cubs are 8th in team ERA with a 3.50 ERA and are averaging 5 runs per game on offense. Well, it doesn't really feel like they're averaging 5.
It's either 7 runs or nothing.
Exactly.
So it's...
And that's the problem. If they can get some consistency with that offense, that will make a gigantic difference.
Right.
I feel like all the pressure is on the pitching staff right now because the offense isn't consistent. If they get out to an early lead, they win. If they don't, it's like they give up. I don't think that they're giving up, but it's like they just can't seem to gain traction. You know what I mean?
Right. They need they feel as if they need a spark.
So I'm going to ask you, who do you think, what pitcher needs to step up big time in this series, and what 1 or 2 hitters do you think are going to be key for this series?
Shota needs to step up.
Yeah, I agree.
Not that he played really bad the other game, but just with the home runs, you got to be careful.
He just had 1 bad pitch in that game.
Right.
But it was
if he can prevent that hanging curve that he always throws right down the middle, then I think we'll be in good shape.
Agree.
Now, the hitters, let's see, we have 1 lefty, right?
No, there's 2 lefties in this. Cantillo and Messick are both lefties.
So I'll have Nico and maybe Amaya.
I hope he gets both starts against the lefty. I don't think he's going to, though. Well, actually, he might, because he started as the DH yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he might get both starts in that. One is a DH or whatnot.
Yep, I'm going to say Amaya and Nico.
So I think Matt Shaw.
Hopefully Shaw. Also, yeah.
Yeah. But I like Amaya. That's not one I thought about. My 2 were Nico and Shaw. So I think you're spot on with Amaya for that as well. I would say Dansby a little bit. Hopefully he can get going with those. Bregman has got good numbers against both righties and lefties. So I'm excited to see what the offense can do out of the Wrigley Field confines.
Right.
In that win.
The roster to do it. We have the roster to do it.
For sure. For sure. I'm excited to see Seiya back, but I just want to make sure that he is 100%. And I think that they do too. I think that that's a huge part of what they want and they're waiting on. And that's why it's kind of drug on a little more than they said. I said it was going to be 15 to 20 games. I think I'm going to be just a little shy on that. But it's going to be around game 12, I think.
So, what do you think will happen to Moises Ballesteros when Seiya comes back? Do you think they'll send him down to AAA to get some, live reps in, or?
No, I think he stays the DH.
Oh, and they put Seiya in right field?
Correct.
Okay, so
I think the normal plan for Shaw will take place then. He's not going to start every day, but he'll end up with 400 to 500 at bats, and he'll play different positions and that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's what's going to transpire. But yeah, I think at this point it's Ballesteros' job to lose, and hopefully he doesn't. So I didn't play my new media at the beginning. Dang it. But awesome. You got anything else, buddy?
Nope.
Let's go Cubs. Also, I agree that Shota is the pitcher that needs to step up big time. I'm not saying Horton and Cabrera have to like be lights out, shut down, but they just need to keep doing what they're doing. Cabrera doesn't even have to do exactly what he did. He can go 6 innings, allow 2 runs, and set the team up to win. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, cool. Let's send it out. Everybody, thank you very much. Go Cubbies.
Go Cubbies.
You're not hearing that, are you?
Go Cubs, go!
There you go. There it is.
They're singing, go Cubs, go!